Hi, how are you all doing? I was not doing well in March. Yeah, I've spoken about my anxiety and anxiety disorder before, but I feel like I haven't done that in a while. And I wanted to whenever something happened, but I never got around to it. But I was talking about it on a Patreon post, and I realized maybe I just didn't have the courage to talk about it without even realizing it. I was like putting it off intentionally or something. I am doing much better than I was doing in March. I lost my health care because I had it through my previous college, and I knew it was coming up that I wouldn't have health care, but things didn't add up for me in my head, and so I was left in a very weird situation where I couldn't get my medication for my anxiety disorder, and so it was just a mess. So I was not doing great, but I'm figuring it out, and I'm taking it day by day and trying to get back to a good place in my routine. So yesterday I went out. I was like, you know what, I need to go out. I need to go do stuff. I haven't left my apartment in a very long time. I literally sat in my bedroom staring at Rocky, being like, I don't want to leave. I finally went out, and you know what, today I'm just like, too much. I'm never leaving the house again. So that's what the plan is. I'm gonna stay here and live my best homebody life, because that's where I thrive. That's where I feel the most comfortable. Okay. I tried to start Pyrenees yesterday because I'm on my spring break. My plan for this week was to read Pyrenees, Ariadne, and Electra, and maybe 1,000 Ships audiobook, just so I could have like a little Greek myth retelling reading vibes. But I can't plan stuff like that because I'm a mood reader, and I'm just not. Am I in the mood for it? I feel like I just need to read it to like really get into it, get into the vibe. But Pyrenees is not the book to start with, because every other word basically is capitalized, and that was not fun for my dyslexic brain. I was in a cafe trying to read it, and I felt like I was just using too much brain power to read this damn book. So when I came home, I just didn't pick it up again. And I was also reading. I had Dark Rise by C.S. Pacat on. This was also going on, but I was gonna put it on hold to read Pyrenees. But then Pyrenees didn't really happen for me, so I was like, let's try and continue Dark Rise. But this book is just giving me so much anxiety. I don't even think I'm halfway yet. Yeah, not even halfway, and this book is giving me so much anxiety. I often get anxiety while reading. It's not the kind of anxiety that usually takes over my body and makes me incapacitated, aka why I had to seek psychiatric help because my anxiety was getting literally so debilitating. So that's why that whole thing just happened before that I was explaining. Don't be afraid to get help, because having that affect your quality of life is not good. You shouldn't have to live like that. Okay? Anyways, so what was I saying? Anxiety while reading books. This anxiety in books isn't the same as my other anxiety, but but there's something in that makes it hard to keep going, to pick it up when you stop. So I'm trying to power through that. But it's hard because it's not even halfway. It's like you know something bad is coming, so it's hard to enjoy the present. I'm listening to it on audio, by the way, if you didn't catch that. I'm listening to it on Scribd. Not sponsored, but I wish it was. Scribd. Hear me out? Yeah, but it's really good so far. It's a fantasy world, but it takes place in London, Georgian era London. But then a magical history of the world is revealed, and our main character, the chosen one, vibes. And it kind of almost, and I was not really in the mood for this, kind of almost goes into a magic school vibe, but it doesn't. So I like that. But yeah, that's what I'm listening to. And I'm also crocheting a shirt. A top. This is the body part of it, and I'm gonna make sleeves, I think, like those kinds of sleeves, but I don't know how big, or should I make it a tank top? But I also don't really love wearing tank tops, so I think I'm just gonna do the sleeves, something that I can wear in the summer, but at the same time, will I wear it in the summer because this might be hella hot? I can already feel the sweat dripping down my back in this. But I love it. I love green. I love green clothes specifically. So it was time, because all I've made is purple clothes. I don't know how it's turned out that way. You know, predictable of me though, because I love purple. I also barely read in March, so I'm trying to start April off a little bit strong. It's not bad. I'm not like hard on myself that I didn't read much in March. It was a little bit of break, a little bit of slow down, but right now I do want to read. I read Juniper and Thorn. I basically read it in like one sitting, audiobook, because I was crocheting something. I think it was this green thing that I was crocheting. What was I even crocheting when I was listening? And it was pretty good. It was not what I expected it to be. I felt like either I just wasn't listening to what people were saying this book was about, or what, or if they just weren't staying in it. But I did enjoy my time reading it. There was a little bit something off, like something that, there's like an itch that I needed scratched about this book that never quite was, but still, it was enjoyable. I gave that a 4 out of 5 stars, and that was the first book I read in a month, or finished in a month, because I have been reading stuff, but I just haven't been finishing them. But next up, hopefully, we'll finish Dark Rise. So I'm gonna get to that. And I'm also gonna, I'm working on my computer right now, so that's why I need an audiobook to listen to. So that's what I'm gonna continue listening to. And hopefully this anxiety feeling will go away, but I doubt it, because this is a high fantasy with high stakes and dark magic, and it's just stressful.
like fires or distant ramparts that only made him look more strange, a fey creature. He did this. I felt it. What's happening? And flowers. What is that? It's a hawthorn tree, said William, standing in his strange ancient clothes against the wall.
You're so silly. You're so silly, silly boy. So, I finished Dark Rise last night. I was so sleepy. I was like, I'm so ready to have a good sleep. Got in my bed, could not sleep. So rude. So I was like, well, I guess I'll finish Dark Rise. And I did. And it was very good. This is labeled as YA, but it didn't feel like a YA. It felt like an adult epic high fantasy, just that there were teenage characters, that happens in regular epic high fantasy adult. So I feel like it should be labeled as an adult book, but whatever. It's probably a good book to intro you into epic high fantasy. So I also recommend Mistborn as like an intro to epic high fantasy, but I think this would be an easier intro to that. But it was very good. I really loved it. I love the world, the magic, the characters, the plot, just everything about it, honestly. That anxiety that I was talking about, I got over that, and I was able to enjoy the present moment. There was nothing about it that I was like, didn't see that one coming. Any like twist, turn, revelation, I kind of like knew it was coming. I kind of saw it. And then after I finished, I was looking at reviews, and everybody's like, whoa, my god, my mind is blood. I'm like, that was pretty easy to predict. It didn't make the book any less good. But I was like, normally I can never see what's coming. I'm not very good at predicting plots. I don't even think about it most of the time. But I knew it was coming here. So I feel smart. But yeah, overall, very good. One of my favorites of the year, I'd say. It's not the top, but it's very good. I really enjoyed it. The audiobook was good as well. Yeah, good times. Anyway, so I finished that, and now what do I read next? I don't know. I don't have any audiobooks that I'm like, I must read this now. I do have an ebook that I've been reading. I like read half of it in one night, and then I went to sleep, and then when I woke up, I never thought about it really after that. But I should finish that one. Last night after I finished Dark Rise, I was looking at audiobooks on Scribd, and I was thinking maybe All the Murmuring Bones by A.J. Slater. So that might be the next move. And today is Easter, so it might be a good Easter vibe. Magical realism, perfect for the spring, you know? I'm not much of a seasonal mood reader, but recently I've been trying to try that out to see if, I don't know, the vibes.